Hey there, I'm Chris, aka Rooted Rockhound, and I'm so thankful to Theo for inviting me to the Makers Challenge number 5. If you haven't watched previous Makers Challenge videos, make sure to go check them out over on Theo's channel, which I will link below, as well as all of the other people participating this year in the Makers Challenge. Go watch all of those videos and don't miss them, because you're going to see some awesome creativity. Just great projects all around, I'm sure. Now, if you don't know, the Makers Challenge is all about challenging yourself. It's not a competition between the channels. It's getting yourself to do something new with rocks that you may not have done before, whether it be a new style of working with rocks or making something out of rocks you've never made before. And so I asked myself, what could I do that I haven't done? And so first I went back and I watched all the previous Makers Challenge videos just to be sure that I wasn't going to do anything similar to anyone else that too similar. But I also wanted to ask myself, what will I use or maybe want to do that is a challenge to me in maybe more than one way? And so I thought, well, I really love doing art. And so I thought to myself, hey, I enjoy doing these linoleum cuts, but I really don't like the tools that I have for them. In fact, I've bought 3 different ones and not enjoyed the way any of them feel in my hand. So why not make my own? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do my own handles for linoleum cutters so that I can make more wonderful artwork like this here. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna take some basic tools like these and turn them into these. So first off, I had to cut some slabs at the club, and then I had to select the parts of the slabs that I wanted to use for the handles. I had a whole bunch of clips here from cutting at the club, but this video was over an hour long. I needed to cut it down so that for the Makers Challenge, my video could be between 20 and 30 minutes and not an hour. So there will be a members and Patreon video that'll be the bonus footage later, and it will have club cutting and so much more that I cut out of this one. So I cut up a number of things at the club that I figured I could try and use for a handle, and I sliced some of them up here into kind of handle-like pieces, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to try and do 2 slabs together like that, side by side, making each side of the tool different, or if I just wanted to try and do single size like this. Alright, so a couple of the tools I'm going to make are going to be pretty simple. I had gotten this chuck piece here, and this is a Dremel insert that you can use to hold on to other tools. So I'm going to insert this part into the stone, we'll glue it in place, and then I'll be able to change out the tips that I want to use, and I can use that as like a hand scribe. Now that'll be just kind of, I don't know, a permanently attached one to the stone since I'm going to glue it in. So what I went ahead and did was I bought a set of linoleum cutters. Now this is 10 lino cutters, and I went ahead and picked this up from Michael's. I had a $5 coupon that was about to expire, plus it was on sale, normally $10, and I paid like $2.37 for this. So what the plan here is I'm not even going to use this whole handle piece. I just measured the threading there, and it works the same as all the Dremel points. As this pushes up in there, it makes that close. It takes a minute to screw in, it's a big one. So yeah, as you see it screws in, it closes that up. Now these lino cutters actually fit in there. So what I've decided to do is not use this handle and make a stone one. Alright, slight update. So I took my speedball cutter, which is made for the linoleum cutters, and well, I cut it. And I removed the tip that was out of there. It was like secured in some plastic that I cut away and removed. And we're gonna put that in a stone handle because this is properly made for these. I looked all over online and at craft stores to try and find just this piece. And you can find many that's just this top piece, but it doesn't have a shaft that comes off of it. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's really hard to find the ones with a shaft like this that also fit these. So I'm gonna keep looking online and I'll eventually find some more, but for now, this works, and I'll be able to, while it's attached to the stone, switch out my linoleum cutter heads. And all we've got to do is drill a small hole that will fit in and glue that in place. Nice. Alrighty, so I selected this piece of the crazy lace. That stuff is crazy. Its name is well deserved. So I went ahead and drilled the hole already. And as you can see, it's a pretty deep hole. Pretty straight looking. The most important part is this right here. Pretty centered, it looks like. Now just to shape the handle. And then I'm actually not 100% sure I'm going to use this chuck, because it is a 3mm opening. And that doesn't fit as many of my tools. So, as I had really thought it did. It fits some of my tips and whatnot, but I might change to a different opening size here, but my hole's a little bigger, so if I do, it won't really matter if I do use a different tip. But I'm still gonna make the handle. I'm not sure though if we'll fasten this in at the end or not. We may very well do it. I'm gonna do a 2-part handle and attach some together. One side is gonna be this lapis with awesome pyrite. And the other side is going to be this very golden tiger eye. It's actually a little bit tiger iron. But I think what I'm going to do, line these 2 slabs up. We're going to mark right here with a Sharpie. So yeah, if I line these 2 up about like that, I'm gonna epoxy them or rock glue them together. I'm not sure yet. And yeah, I'm gonna show you what my plan is with this. It's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna take the Dremel and I'm basically going to come down here with the Dremel. And I'm gonna take some of the larger drums and grind out a groove on these 2 before I glue them together and line it up, and do a half circle on each side. Alrighty, so I got myself a little aluminum and brass scribing pencil set because I was ordering some Nova tips, and I decided to get these with it. So I'm gonna cut the other handle to be about the same as this. So try and center it as best as we can eyeball. I kind of want to mark it a few times, show the depth. Okay. So it's going to be rounded out. I just need some rough lines to show me. So that's what I'm going to Dremel out. Alright, I had my flex shaft. You might be able to hear the fan in the background blowing on my rotary tool to keep it cool. So first I did the tiger iron. I had it nice and smooth, but I added some notches, little deeper notches in there to give the glue to something to hold on to better. So I did that one, and now I just did a rough cutout on the lapis. Now I'm going to use a round bit, remove a little bit more, This one took like seconds compared to this one. All right, I'm gonna put my respirator on and my goggles there. It's hard for you to see, but I can see it. I marked it with the copper scribe right there, right there. There's long copper lines that go that way. They don't match the pyrite. There they go. You can see right there. So I'm going to trim that down a little on the flat lap, flatten this side just a touch. Maybe not flatten this one on this wheel because this wheel is pretty coarse, but let's get the mask on and get going. Jump through it. The color of the water that the lapis created. Alrighty, we've done the first preliminary shaping, quick rough shaping of the two sides of the handle. What I thought was kind of cool is the tiger eye pattern is somewhat, I don't want to say visible in the water, but like the little wavy, sloshy pattern, it just reminds me of some of the flows. The flow the tiger iron gets. Oop, my phone's dying. It's got a 20% warning. Looks like I need to plug in while I do a little more work. So I'm going to jump ahead and I'm just going to show you this all pretty much done with its final shaping before we move on to the polish and before I glue it. I think I'm going to try and polish each side individually and then glue it at the end, as long as I can get a proper fit. Again, I just did a rough shaping on the tiger iron. Now I've got to shape down the sodalite to match it a little better because we still got some overhang. All right, I feel like we got a pretty good thing going on here. My handles are sitting, oh, let's see if we line that one up. Get that nice and flush. Then the other side's a little bit off. Oh, okay. So looking at it there, looks like we need to take the sodalite down just a hair. I was just rounding the edge of the tiger eye a little bit more. So it looks like I'm gonna have to catch up just a smidge. Alrighty, so I just used my little rotary tool and put a hole in the end of this one to get this one to fit in there. So I'll glue that one in place when it's done. This is one of my carving tips. This piece is specifically designed to hold the carving tips. So while the other handle is more of a multi-tool that can be used for a lot of things, this one's going to be specialized for my carving. I'm going to leave this part on here to kind of have it be like a curved pinky grip. It's just the right size so that when I'm holding it and using it, be about like that. Might even, I don't know, I thought about cutting little kind of contour hand grooves. We'll see. I'll do a flat lap polish first. I can't go too deep up here because as you can see, that is pretty thin. Okay, so rough shaping went fine, except if you noticed we had a little mishap there where that little spot of botryoidals popped out and it went flying, and that's part of the reason we wear protection. Okay, I had to look around for a minute. It was hiding in my carpet. So this was the very first handle that I started, and it was going great until it got on the wheel. And this large crevice opened up, and the piece nearly fell apart. It was hanging on by a little bit right down here, but all of that was open, and this whole thing was wiggling around. I think I took a clip of that. I can't remember if I did. But I love this piece, because look, it's got like so much going on. There's an exclamation point right there. Oh, it's so cool. But given that it's still got a large fracture, and I didn't fill all of it in, and see some of it's filled in with glue there, but there's still some large cracks open there. And rather than try and fill it all the way in, I know I wouldn't ever really advise this for lapidary stuff, especially because I just polished the other handles, but I might just leave this one as is and not give it a nice fine shiny polish. Alright, so I ended up skipping the spray. Rather, I did try it on this one and it did not work out very well. And so I ended up going ahead and polishing this one a little bit, just up to like the 600 wheel. But it's enough that I'm happy with it. Enough of a shine there. And I don't have to worry about contaminating my other wheels with that large crack there. But got the piece secured in there. We've got the tip secured in that one, and in these ones as well. I still have to clear out a little bit of glue here. My camera's not focusing, sorry about that. I still have to clear out a little bit of glue in there. I'm just gonna use a little razor or something and kind of scrape away the rest of that exposed glue. But nice piece. Fits my hand well for carving. I like to put my thumb right on there. Feel like I get the control right there. So that came out really nice. And then this one can be used for anything. And it also came out really nice. I did spray this one. It made the red really pop. Maybe I'll insert a little picture of what it looked like here, quick video. But I ended up peeling it off because it got all bubbly and weird and did not look that great. But now, I think it looks wonderful. So this lino cutter one, that's what I will be using to do more of my artwork, where I take pieces of linoleum and I carve out the negative space, and then we ink it and print some pictures, which I'll show you a couple examples of here. And here's a look at some of the finished products there after I've actually printed them. So it's a lot of fun doing linoleum prints. You can do multicolor, different color, single color. It's just a negative of the carving there. See, it's flipped over, inked and pressed. So yeah, got a fun new tool for doing that. Oh, it's not there. Where'd it go? Aha, it was hiding under here. So I'm pretty excited to actually use it, and maybe we'll come up with a design and do another linoleum carving in an upcoming video, because I haven't shown any of that for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed my project there, and again, big thanks to Theo for putting on the Makers Challenge. I hope this and the other videos inspire you to try something new with your rocks. So until next time, big thanks again. We will see y'all later.